They didn't want me there. I remember the exact words she used. She's not blood. This is family business. Her voice was sharp, rehearsed, like she'd been waiting for the chance to cut me clean from the circle. I didn't fight it. I nodded, smiled even. She's right, I thought. I'm not blood. And so I stayed home, sipping bitter coffee from a chipped mug, while they gathered in mahogany chairs under the heavy chandelier of the old family estate. The lawyer's call came hours later. His voice was calm, formal. "I need to meet with you privately," he said. That was the moment the ground shifted under all of us. I first met Claire, my sister-in-law, when Michael brought me to his parents' house years ago. She greeted me with champagne brightness, too much perfume, and a smile that never touched her eyes. She hugged me, whispered, "Welcome to the family." I believed her. Foolish. Back then, I thought alliances were real. I thought marriage meant unity. I thought she was my sister. But time reveals. Masks slip. It started small. She'd forget to include me in family dinners. Conversations would hush the moment I entered a room. When Michael's health declined, she hovered too close, always whispering in his ear, always planting seeds. And then he was gone. At the funeral, she clung to his mother's hand like a daughter, while I stood alone at the edge of the grave. I should have broken then. I didn't. The betrayal became clear when I overheard her on the phone. Her laugh was sharp, triumphant. "She won't get a cent. I've already convinced them. She's nothing without him." She meant me. That night, I sat awake, staring at the ceiling. Not grieving, not angry, calculating. If they wanted me invisible, I would vanish, on my own terms. The lawyer's private meeting was my first move. Michael hadn't trusted them. He'd trusted me. Every will, every codicil, every instruction, they were sealed with my name on them. The estate wasn't theirs to cut me out of. It was mine to distribute. But I didn't reveal that. Not yet. I signed where needed. I smiled politely. I let the lawyer explain the trusts, the properties, the hidden accounts, assets Claire didn't know existed. I didn't celebrate. I planned. First, I secured silence. The lawyer, bound by confidentiality, said nothing. I withdrew funds discreetly, moving assets into places they couldn't trace. A shadow inheritance, invisible to their greedy eyes. Second, I set the trap. Claire was hungry, always hungry, for status, for recognition, for money. I leaked just enough to her through the family grapevine, a rumor of missing funds, of questionable transfers. I let her suspicion grow. She came to me, all false sweetness. "I know you're struggling without him. If you need help managing what little you have left..." I pretended gratitude. I let her think I was weak. Third, I waited. She overplayed her hand, as I knew she would. She rallied the family against me, claiming I was stealing, hiding what wasn't mine. She demanded a family meeting. Perfect. The confrontation happened in the same room where they'd once excluded me. The chandelier, the mahogany, the portraits of stern ancestors glaring down. Claire stood at the head of the table like a queen without a crown. Her speech was venom. "She's taking advantage. She doesn't belong here. Michael's gone and she's clinging to what isn't hers." I let her finish. Then I opened the folder. Documents, signatures, bank transfers, the lawyer's notarized statement. All of it. Michael's will, clear as glass. Everything was left in my name. And not just the estate. The trusts, the offshore accounts, the investments Claire had no idea existed. I watched the color drain from her face. The silence that followed was thick, suffocating. Her mother broke first. "Michael left it all to her?" The lawyer confirmed. Claire tried to protest, stammering, reaching for arguments that collapsed before they left her lips. I looked her dead in the eye and whispered, just loud enough, "You were right. I'm not blood. That's why Michael trusted me. She crumbled. The fallout was swift. She lost her standing. The family turned cold. The same voices she'd manipulated now whispered about her greed. She had nothing. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. My revenge wasn't in taking the inheritance. It was in letting her drown in the emptiness she'd carved for me. Now, when I sit alone in the estate she tried to steal, I think of Michael. He knew them better than I ever did. That's why he left it all to me. Not out of love, though I like to believe that was part of it, but out of trust, out of certainty. And Claire? I pass her sometimes in town. She avoids my eyes. She's thinner now, the perfume replaced with desperation. She thought she buried me, but I was the one waiting with the shovel.